No, I think we'll see him back. And the big question is how he's going to look. I don't know, but I think we'll see him maybe next year, maybe for UFC 300.
Right now, though, you go UFC 300. Realistically, what is that main event?
So it's a shame because it should be John Jones Stipe.
You can't hold off Jones Stipe.
But
for
I still feel
year,
like you have to put John Jones on UFC 300. His retirement fight, his last fight. That's what it seems to me. I have no idea who he's going to fight.
You don't want it to be one where someone's clearly got the advantage or seems to have the advantage. You want something that's going to be historical in its own regard.
The reason why 100 sold the way 100, it wasn't just Brock Lesnar turning up. It was Brock Lesnar, the UFC champion, against a man that he had legitimate beef with, an incredible feud, and
Had lost to.
And it was like this amalgamation of just, this has all come at the perfect time.
Once he beats Stipe, that is kind of it. You've either got someone like Tom Aspinall who's going to get there, or maybe even like the resurgent thin six-pack version of Derek Lewis. If Aspinall smashes two people easily, at least he's in a good position, and that would make a compelling UFC 300.
Like, let's be honest, like, he's an exciting heavyweight, and I think MMA fans like Tom Aspinall. I think he is a really great representation of what MMA is. He's got this great rounded game, and he's a heavyweight. It's great. But like, outside of that, did anyone watch UFC London?
It's more about the belief that he is good enough to beat John Jones, and just trying to like even tap into that a tiny bit. Because if you get into that a little bit,
do you think he can beat John Jones?
If he keeps getting better, yeah.
Do you think he can beat John Jones?
Yeah, because he's the more natural heavyweight.
And I think that's the question at the end of the day. I think to sell the main event, you need a legitimate threat. Who does Tom Aspinall need?
He's got to
beat?
beat Garn, or if he beats Garn, and then if he beats Stipe off, or Stipe loses to John,
does he need to do it in like a sickening way as well? Does he need to do it in a way where people got, what the fuck? And then he gets on the fucking microphone and he's like, John Jones, I'm coming for you. That's what he needs.
And that's what I think he is going to do.
Yeah.
That is literally what I think
rather
he's
than
going to do.
be like, yeah, no, I guess like, yeah. Does he need to fight Pavlovich as well?
No idea what Pavlovich is going to do.
He's number one though.
No, yeah, but Tom, well, I think as we all agree, Tom is the better fighter. He's more well-rounded. He poses threats to Jones because he does everything well that Garn does, but has a ground game that is way more competent.
John Jones knows I exist. Woohoo! That's a win in itself. I'm buzzing with that.
Do we see Conor versus Nate 3 at UFC 300?
You very well could.
What we're talking about there is you're prioritizing essentially what is a celebrity MMA fight over genuine world championship caliber. That's the thing. If you do have John on there against, let's say he fights Aspinall in the co-main event.
Aspinall that's like run through two more guys and is looking sick.
Yeah, and then you put Conor, Nate as the main event. Do you not diminish the level of which what John and Aspinall are at? This isn't 2016 anymore. This isn't him beating Eddie Alvarez. It's fucking 2023, and he's gonna be main eventing at 300. I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if it happened though, because it's just, you got to think of all the plebs that aren't tuned into what's going on, who just see, oh, Conor's back, he's a laugh, he's gonna knock him right out. And
do you know what it's like? Not to the severity of it, but fucking Hoist Gracie versus Ken Shamrock in Bellator.
I think you summed it up perfectly when you said you're dealing with a celebrity MMA fight, because like Conor is that now. He's not really a full-time fighter, is he? He's kind of like this personality now that walks around telling everyone he's going to slap him, but never actually fights. He made so much money, he had so much success, and then it was just like, he acted like his head was in the game, but his actions weren't.
I mean, what does that say about like the UFC and MMA in general if a Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz free fight does headline UFC 300? What does that say about...
It's an entertainment business.
Yeah.
It's what it says. It says it's more about entertainment than it is about, putting on the best fights.
It's all about the show, and the show comes with McGregor. But if he is around and he wins, he beats Chandler, or this is because he's got 2 fights left, he will fight Nate at UFC 300. I bet you. People are starting to see through McGregor, and they're kind of getting tired of him because he's not fighting. I'm telling you now, when he gets back in the cage, there'll be a fucking ton of people that want him to see him win, just for the old time's sake.
Do you think Conor McGregor today could sell fans on a UFC 300 trilogy with Nate Diaz, as he is and as Nate is, based upon his fight against fucking Tony Ferguson.
It's just going to be a fight that people want to see because of the history involved in it. And it's
Yeah.
1-1, so there are stakes there.
Also-
Who
But it was
wins
years
the-
ago.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't
it's-
matter though. There's still a trilogy. It still needs to be
It's
resolved.
also like the perfect retirement fight for both guys.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like a classic vintage fight.
You're not going to get Conor versus Nate 1. You're not going to even get Conor versus Nate 2.
Yeah, but it's still them fighting.
Yeah, but it's going to be fucking Nate Diaz leaning on the cage for like half.
Yeah,
of
but
the-
there's still
the round.
drama involved in that.
Like what?
Even when it's sloppy, there was drama involved in Ferguson Nate, even though they were both terrible.
But that's the really awkward thing about all of this. What is the best fight? What is the best fight for 300?
When are you coming back?
December.
And who are you fighting?
Chandler. Chandler next, December, and then Gacy BMF, and then we'll do Nate trilogy.
So my favourite cocktail is an old fashioned. You know that,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, I do,
You
yeah.
do know that.
Yeah, I
Also,
know
if
that.
you watch that thing with Morning Combat, everyone knows that because I couldn't spell it.
Old Phasian.
I put some Howler Head as my bourbon base
Yeah.
for the old fashions
Ooh.
with the little bit of bitters.
Yeah.
It was very nice. So I think in the spirit of our sponsor, we should maybe come up with our own cocktails like next week.
okay.
Maybe try and get like a little bit of a cocktail session going.
I'm going to have a whiskey and a beer. What do you usually have banana with?
Porridge.
Ice cream.
Whiskey and porridge. Like a fucking old sailor in a lighthouse.
Yeah. No. No milk, just put the Howler Head in.
Oh god.
Oh my God.
It's so thin.
Yeah, why not? Start the day off strong.
You know, if people at home want to join in on the fun and get themselves a bottle, you can go to larger Tesco's, you can go to Amazon, and you can go to Master at Malt. Howler Head is for sale in the UK now. Thanks, Howler Head, right?
Thank you very much, yeah.
No, I think we'll see him back. And the big question is how he's going to look. I don't know, but I think we'll see him maybe next year, maybe for UFC 300. Maybe we see him back end of the year, but I definitely think we'll see him back.
Okay, let's wipe John off the board then. And let's wipe Conor off the board.
Is Izzy versus Pereira?
No, don't do Izzy versus Pereira. Just do Izzy versus somebody.
Drickus.
Who's coming up at 185?
Drickus.
It could be Drickus.
The real African challenge.
It could really be Drickus. It's a long time, but it's not unrealistic. You also have Volk, Islam too.
Is that a UFC 300 main event though?
I think Volk on there somewhere.
Just like who are the legends left in the sport? It's just
That's
the
the
question.
thing. Who is going? Because when we talk about like the centuries, right? It's such an important one for fans, isn't it? This shit means something. The centuries mean something to us.
Feels like we missed the mark with UFC 200 because John or Conor weren't on it. And even now, UFC 300, if it's anything...
But it was saved by Brock.
Not really. If it's anything but John or Conor on UFC 300, it will feel like it's missed the mark. I think Yuri would be great. Yuri is so ready to become a superstar. Well, like UFC 300, Yuri versus Pereira, that would be an amazing fight.
Maybe
wouldn't
it would be pretty good.
If that headlined UFC 300,
Yeah.
I don't think I'd even be upset.
No, I don't think I would.
Hamzat on UFC 300.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
Hamzat title
At
shot.
least on the main card or a title
Hamzat
shot.
versus Adesanya.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Could be a good one.
Like, so if the Duplessis
Could
timeline
be.
doesn't work
Yeah.
out, you know, like there's
That's the thing. You need the amalgamation of entertainment and fucking
It's a
sick,
show.
believable fighter as well. And that's where I do think you've got your Poatan Yuri kind of is up there. Now you've mentioned that.
Can we do like a Royal Rumble? Who else could be? Is
Oh,
that
tournament?
way?
One
Yeah.
night tournament.
Oh my
for
God.
300.
That would be
or
amazing.
two nights.
It's like a Pride middleweight division.
We're gonna have Pena versus Raquel Pennington for UFC 300.
Maybe we should get a hologram of Ali and then McGregor can fight him. Just shadow box like he does.
That would.
He's just like, I'm beating the brakes off him. The hottest new club to be a part of
It
is
is.
the MMA on
Yeah.
point.
Great T-shirts as well. I've heard. They
No,
do
great
fantastic
There's no
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Also, this is
There's
episode 20, by
It
the
is.
way. So
In that
that's, you know,
Eiffel Tower.
don't grab me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, careful.
Just
He's-
high five.
It's
I
easy
thought
now.
we were holding hands.
No.
My dad is desperate to become a member. So yeah, Dad, go on a PC, click the join button. We've got 3 tiers. And to get this podcast twice a week, 30-minute episodes, you can be any tier, can't you?
You do some fun stuff, don't you, with Jason and Tommy? Your little secret society for the UFC champions.
They don't let us in, do they? It's
No.
just them.
Some of them actually only sign up for the membership because they get access to our writers' meetings for the top 10 videos and the essay videos. Because there is a certain sort of level of our community that's quite a bit more sophisticated than the others. And they've got some pretty good ideas they want to interject. If you want to be a part of that, you can come and join in the weekly writers' meetings. It's a live stream. Me, Tommy, Jason. You just join. You can talk. you can chat, you can shed your ideas.